Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, What the Health. My name is Tori. I am a holistic herbalist and doula. And on my journey as a doula, I've come across a lot of women and men who have a lot of worries when it comes to pregnancy. But what they have in common is these main two things that always come up. And yes, I included the men, and I will include the men in this entire pregnancy series that I am kicking off today because they have worries too. Daddy is scared too. Daddy is worried too. Daddy is nervous too. And no matter how many kids you have, we still go through the process of, oh my God, each pregnancy is different. Each pregnancy is different. Each situation is different, especially if it's your first time having a baby at home, or it's your first time having a baby, period, or your first time having a baby with a doula, or whatever the case may be, having a baby natural. Daddy is just as worried, and I don't think they get taken seriously enough, just like I know that people of color don't get taken seriously enough. So moving right along, and not even limited, I won't even limit it to people of color, but we deal with it more than anyone. And I just don't feel women get listened to enough when it comes down to delivering these babies and having these babies in these hospitals, okay? Especially when it comes down to the statistics. Women are going into the hospitals to have their babies. They're carrying their babies for 9 full months without any issue. And then they go in a hospital to have their baby and they come out in a body bag. It is completely unacceptable. And of course, someone will start calling me right now while I'm trying to do this. But we're going to move right along. We're going to act like that didn't happen. I'm not starting this video over, okay? So, again, my name is Tori. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button right now because I don't want you to get up tomorrow ready to binge watch the rest of the series only to find out that you can't find me. I am right here on What the Health. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's dive right on into it. Now, the first thing that always comes up when I am dealing with or even going through my first initial meeting with my clients, deciding if we are going to be a good fit for each other, they are worried about, what if my baby is born with the umbilical cord around his or her neck? Like, what if I go to deliver my baby and my baby comes out deceased because they've been strangled by their umbilical cord? First, what I want to tell you is that God does not make mistakes, okay? God did not put your baby in your womb with the umbilical cord if it was going to strangle it, right? There's certain places that we go wrong as parents, and this is what causes it. So if you've ever seen an umbilical cord, and an umbilical cord is wet, it's flexible, it's soft, and it's able to ravel, unravel, tie and untie, whatever the case may be. God did not put the baby in danger. That's like saying, what if my baby drowns in the amniotic fluid, okay? And I want to explain to you all that you don't have to have this fear. The only way that the umbilical cord can strangle your baby is if you, mom, are dehydrated. Yes, if you're dehydrated, your umbilical cord is no longer soft and flexible. It gets hard, and now it's able to strangle your baby. So that's the reason that the umbilical cord gets wrapped around a baby's neck. And if you are a mom, or like most moms, everyone reacts the same way when I tell them this. They say, well, I drink a gallon of water a day, or I drink half my body weight in water every day. Well, baby, that is H2O. And in order to remain hydrated, you need H3O. So if you're drinking all this water every day, know that is water. H2O is used as like a flusher. Okay, so just like you flush in the toilet. So you drink all this H2O, and all it's going to have you doing is running to the bathroom, because what you're doing is flushing out your system, which is great. However, it is not hydrating you. Have you ever found yourself drinking like a gallon of water and you're like, I'm still thirsty and I don't know why I drink all this water and I'm thirsty? You're thirsty because you need H3O. And a lot of people haven't even heard about H3O. H3O is what we need to hydrate ourselves. The only way to get H3O is from fruits and vegetables. And I mean seeded fruits and vegetables. So if you are trying to hydrate yourself, you need to go get fruit. I say seeded because if it doesn't have a seed, then where did it grow from? Right? Where did it grow from? Where did it come from? It's okay. We're going to leave that where it's at. So if you are worried that the umbilical cord could be wrapped around your baby's neck, you need to make sure that you are eating enough fruit every single day. Seeded fruit. Eat the watermelons. Eat your cantaloupes. Eat your blackberries. Anything in an berry is very high in antioxidants, especially blackberries. And you may say, oh, I don't like that fruit. Well, you also not going to like the worry of the umbilical cord being wrapped around your baby's neck. So eat the fruit, even if you have to put a little agave on it. And that's AGAVE. I introduce people to agave because it is organic, it's natural. Honey spikes your insulin levels. And of course, we're not even going to get on white sugar. Leave it alone. Leave it where it is. You need to hydrate yourself. Eat your fruit every single day, all day. Grab your cup. And like I said, seeded fruit. Grab your blueberries, your raspberries, your blackberries, your strawberries, watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew melon. Anything ending in melon is great for your melanin. Okay, so make sure that you're staying hydrated. If you do that, there is no way that the umbilical cord is going to be wrapped around your baby's neck. But if you are not properly hydrated, then it will, okay? You do have that risk. So scare yourself right into the farmer's market and go get you some fruit and eat that fruit daily so that you can be properly hydrated for your baby, okay? If it gets to the point where your umbilical cord is dehydrated, you are dangerously dehydrated, okay? If you're scared that this could happen to you, be scared enough to make sure you're eating enough fruit. Eat it all day. Eat an unlimited amount of fruit, and you will not have to worry about the possibility of your umbilical cord being wrapped around your baby's neck. Okay, moving right along. The second fear that I deal with or that I hear about is people saying, what if I don't contract like I'm supposed to? Or what if my contractions stall and, they have to give me a C-section? First, I want to lay a foundation. When we're talking about these contractions stalling. C-sections are way more common than they used to be. And it's all about the money. Think about it. If you go to the hospital and they got 10 beds in labor and delivery or 20 beds in labor and delivery and they're all filled with women, and they allow you to go through the natural processes of labor, which could take 10, 12, 24, 48 hours, some women be in labor. They want to get you up out that bed. So if they need to tell you that you have to get a C-section, that's what they're going to do to make sure they can get you in and out this hospital and another woman into that bed. That's why some of you are 6 weeks pregnant and you already have your C-section scheduled. How? And you haven't even had a chance to try to deliver your baby. Like, that is ridiculous. It baffles me. It is devastating to hear when I come across women and they're like, well, I'm 2 months pregnant, but my baby's going to be born. I'm due on August 20th. My C-section is scheduled for August 20th or August 19th. And I'm like, they're not even giving you all a chance anymore to try to have your baby, to see if you're going to dilate like you need to see if you're going to contract like you need to, because it's about the money, okay? I need you all to know that. It's all about the money. It's way quicker for them to throw you in a room, cut your stomach open, pull a baby out, than it is for you to go through your natural processes of labor. Okay. And now it goes from them getting paid for labor and delivery to them getting paid for a surgery, because now you just went straight into a surgery. Okay. So it's about the money. I need you all to know that baby works with you to contract. If your contractions start to stall, let's say you're in labor, your contractions start to stall, or you're not dilating, it could very well be possible that your baby is just not ready to come yet. We use all these pregnancy apps and pregnancy calculators and all this other stuff. When the baby is ready to come, the baby's going to come out. When the baby is done cooking, the baby will come out the oven, okay? Trust yourself. Trust your body. Trust God above all things. And when I'm saying God, I'm talking about the creator of the universe, the Most High. And God did something so magnificent when he made us portals to have our babies come through our bodies, to come through our wombs. Baby and mom communicates with each other. So if for some reason your baby's breached, you can say, baby, move, flip upside down, take your hands, move your stomach, rotate your stomach. You shift back and forth. The same way you got pregnant is the same way you have to get this baby out. You did not get pregnant just laying there, or most of us didn't. I'm sure you did a little bit of moving, you did a little bit of shuffling, switching positions back and forth, and that's the same thing that you have to do when it's time to get this baby out of your body. So most of the time in hospital setups, you're sitting in one spot. Or they may say, hey, you can walk back and forth. That's not what you were doing. You were squatting. You was raising your leg. You was pushing back and forth. You need to do all those things to help your baby get on up out of you. Another reason that your contractions can stall could be because you're eating ice chips. Cold things. Think about cold things. Cold things cause your muscles to constrict. It causes your blood vessels to constrict. Think about when you're cold. We automatically kind of go into, we go into this mode. It's because you're cold. And it's the same thing if you're eating ice chips, or which is the only thing that they allow you to take in. Now you've made all your blood vessels constrict. And when it comes down to labor, you start to have contractions and dilate when you're relaxed. All those things happen when you're relaxed. So if you're sitting there and you're eating ice chips, you're not relaxed anymore. You're actually starting to constrict, and now that will stall your contractions. And it's sick, because why are you giving these women ice chips knowing it's going to cause their blood vessels to constrict, which will delay their contractions, which will put them in a room where they have to get a C-section now. Now you're running around and saying the baby's lacking oxygen and all of this, that, and the other, and it's all because the muscles constricted because you're giving ice, okay? So that's another thing. Or cold beverages, anything cold, it does the same thing. Another thing that could be causing this is the fact that you are too doped up. When they give you these medicines, you and the baby can't communicate anymore. I remember having one of my children, and I was so out of it from I had got induced, I always say, if I knew then what I know now. But just getting induced, so I'm rushing my baby on now when my baby not ready. So now my body and my baby, we're not communicating with each other. Baby's doped up, I'm doped up. I can't even stay woke long enough to tell the baby to move or to talk to the baby. And the baby can't stay woke long enough to tell me, hey, mom, it's time to push, or hey, mom, it's time to shift, it's time to move, it's trying to do anything. You're both doped up. All these medicines slow down the entire process. And now you're wondering why I look like an episode of ER where they're running around and now they're saying mom can't breathe, mom's not getting oxygen, baby's not getting oxygen. Maybe if you weren't laying on your back trying to deliver a baby, you can get oxygen. Okay? Maybe if you weren't doped up. Think about when you deliver your baby and the baby can't stay woke. How are you pushing out a baby after 12 hours of labor or whatever the case may be, and the baby knocked out? The baby is high. Mama is high. You all are so doped up, you probably can't even lift up your legs. You got somebody lifting up your legs because you done got this epidural and you can't do it yourself. So now your baby can't even communicate with you. Baby like, what's going on? Because I didn't say today I was being born. Like, I'm not even supposed to be born today. You're forcing me out, and you're wondering why your contractions are stalling. They done gave you all this different medication, and now you can't do what's needed to be done. So these are the reasons that your contractions can possibly stall. If you try to have the baby the natural way, and I know it hurts. Yes, it's going to hurt to have the baby naturally, but it also hurted when you was losing your virginity. And, and you got through it, didn't you? It's other things that were painful. And the joy about having a baby is that no matter what you've went through, no matter how bad the contractions were, when that baby come out, it's a good 20 minutes of no pain. Like, you forget that you wide open, you wounded, might be torn, and you don't feel none of that pain because you see your baby. All those hormones are rushing, and you get that moment of no pain. So understand that it's worth it. It's worth it for your body to be able to communicate with your baby, to make sure that you deliver a baby that is alive. It is no reason why we should be continuing to have these babies going to the hospital. We've went full term with no issue. And now you push your baby out and it's stillborn. This stuff is unexcusable, and it has to stop. But it's happening because we are allowing ourselves to get doped up. And, the excuse is, oh, it's going to hurt. Yes, it's going to hurt. Your hips are spreading. Your cervix is spreading. You're going from tiny to huge or whatever. Not that big, I'm being dramatic, but you're dilating 10 centimeters. You have to push out a head. And there's things that are said like, oh, the baby's head is too big, or your canal is too small. That's again going into saying that God is making mistakes, because you wouldn't have been able to conceive this baby or grow this baby to that size if you couldn't push it out. You can very much do it, but you can't do it doped up. You got to be sober. You got to be sober so that baby can say, mama, it's time to push. Or so that you can say, hey, baby, it's time to move. It's time to shift. You can communicate with your baby, and your baby is going to communicate with you. But you need to be sober enough to do it. So I don't want to hear about that it hurts. And yeah, it hurt. And some of y'all doing it in a Rudy and a Tootie. That hurts. But you're able to do it, and you get through that pain. You need to do the same thing for your baby so that your baby can live, so that you can live. So that you can live. They are killing us in labor because we're taking our bodies through so much. You so doped up. You trying to push the baby out. Your anxiety through the roof. You can't breathe no more. Baby can't breathe no more. It's cold as hell in a hospital. All these unknown souls are walking around. All these doctors. It's already low vibrational in that environment anyway, because on the next floor, you got 1,000 people in intensive care, and it's just a bad situation. And I'm not here to talk negative about a doctor or nurse. I'm just sticking to the facts, and it is what it is. Your contractions are being delayed or could be delayed because of these reasons. So you have to think about these things when you're going through the process of deciding how you're going to deliver your baby or what your birthing plan is going to look like. And if you take care of these things, you don't have to worry about your contractions stalling, because you're going to be having your baby when you're supposed to. Your labor is going to start. Have you ever heard people that'll say something along the lines of like, it's like the baby just popped out. By the time I got to the hospital, the baby was out. That's because he wasn't doped up yet. And baby was ready. When baby is ready, baby is going to come. If your baby is not coming, it's because your baby is not ready. It's not because your body is not doing something correctly. As long as you've remained hydrated, as long as you have done your part as mom and made sure that you're eating correctly and doing everything that you need to do to make sure your baby is in the safest environment, these things cannot take place. Your umbilical cord cannot strangle your baby if you are hydrated. Okay? I need you all to know these things so that we can have higher success rates in delivering our kids, because the death rate when it comes down to delivery is alarming. And it's our people. It's alarming. Women, we have to do something different. We have to move differently. And birthing partners, men, encourage your woman. She can do it. Love on her. It matters how you treat her throughout her pregnancy. It matters. Love on her. Talk to the baby. Let the baby know what your plans are. The baby hears you. When the baby come out, they already know who you are. They've been listening to your voice for 9 months. They've been feeling your emotions for 9 months. You're crying. Baby's in there crying. Baby's like, what's wrong? Okay? We have to do better as parents and knowing that it is all connected. And it all depends on how you treat your body when you're pregnant. That's going to determine how your labor goes, okay? And you can't have all these strangers going in your womb like that, okay? But we're going to get into that a little bit more during the series, but make sure you like and subscribe so that you can get the next video, because, again, this is a whole series, and we're going to be addressing different things, because there is nothing to worry about if you do this the right way. If any of this stuff has happened to you, or if you have any other worries, any other fears, or whatever, hop in the comments. Let's talk about it. Maybe we can do another video on it. I'll probably hop on live and answer some more questions, but this is only the beginning. I'll see you next time.